Hey y'all, today I want to show you guys how to customize a dog bandana using iron-on vinyl. Yeah, don't mind this whole Sky ate up his bandana. But anyways, you'll need Canva to design. You'll need a scrunchy bandana, your weeder, iron-on vinyl, your cutting mat, your heat press, and of course the star of the show, you'll need your Cricut. All right, y'all, so let's get started. We're gonna head to Canva to do our design. Okay, y'all, so I went to canva.com. I opened up a design, and this design size is 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And this is the size that I always use when it comes to creating my bandanas. So I'm going to create two types of, I'm going to show you guys how to do two designs. I'm going to show you how to do a name and how I do the placement, and how to do one that has like words or a quote. So let's create that first quote. It's one of my best-selling ones. To add the text, you'll go over to the left side and click text, and then add a text box, and then it'll add a text box in the middle. And my best-selling one, well, one of them, is still living with my parents. Like, everyone loves that one. And then you can customize it. You can be like, still living with my mom, still living with my dad, but still living with my parents is very popular for me. So now we're going to go so we can change the font size. Well, let's change the font size first. So we'll go over here to where it says 12. Let's do about 50. Make it, we'll condense it a little bit on the sides. Okay, and I'm going to move this box right here. Now, I don't like the spacing of this, so we're going to go right here where this up and down arrow is, and it says spacing. Well, when you hover over it and you click on it, and we're going to make the line spacing smaller. Okay, I like that for now. Let's change the font now. I'm going to use this one. I think it's called like Burt Hold or something. I like that one. Okay. Now, I think the letters are a tad bit close, so we're going to put more space in between the letters. So go back to spacing. And then under letter spacing, we're going to move it to the right. I like that. It's a smidge more right there. I'm going to adjust the lines a little bit more. And that's it. So this is my first design. And I'm going to click this little plus sign, and it has like a little page it looks like. And I'm going to click on that, and it says add page. So now I'm going to create my second design, which is going to be just his name. So I'm going to add another text box. And I typically like the cursive ones for names. So we're going to go ahead on. I'm going to search for Pacifico. Okay. And his name is Sky. Let's do the font size again. Probably just about 60. Let's do a little bit more. 80. You don't have to make the font size bigger or smaller, because you can edit this in Canva, but I typically like to do big enough. Okay. Yeah. Let's do 100. Okay. That works. Okay. So now that we have that done, I got both of them created, 1 and 2. So I want to save both of these. So you'll go to share, and then you'll go to download, and it's going to ask you which pages you want to save, because I have a lot of pages on this one. But what I said, 4 and 5, so I'm going to save 4. Oops, that's 3. 4, and I'm gonna save 5. Okay, you want to save it as a PNG, and that's it. Done. And then download. Okay. Okay, so to remove the background, we'll go to remove.bg, And I like to remove my background on this website because I can do it with one click compared to when I upload it to Cricut. It's a lot of clicks. So you're gonna click upload image, okay? And now I'm gonna click on my design. We'll click 4, and it's gonna upload it. And it's gonna remove your background. So now we'll just download this. Download this. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do the other one. Okay, y'all. So now we need to go to Cricut Design Space. Click on that. You will have to log in, but I should already be logged in. This program is totally free. But you can subscribe to their membership, and that'll give you access to like more designs, like, oh crap, right here, like way more designs. But you don't have to though. I usually create my own designs in Canva for free. So click on new project, okay, and now we'll click on upload, and we're going to upload the designs that we removed the background from. So upload image. Browse, then we're gonna click on sky, click continue. I don't have to do none of that because I already removed the background, so apply and continue. And this is where you'll choose your layers. This is the multi-layers, so you can do it by color. The single layer is just one color, and then the flat graphic is for when you want to print it and then cut it. So I just need single layer, then continue. You can do the change the image name, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm just gonna upload. So upload, and there we have it. We have the first one. So now I'm gonna upload the second one. The same process. Upload image, browse. Still live with my parents. Continue. I already removed the background, so I don't need that. Apply and continue. And then single layer again and continue. Okay, so now that will upload. Okay, so now that I have both of my designs, now we need to know what size vinyl that we need to create. So for the name, I normally put the name like right here. So I'm gonna grab my measuring tape. You can use a ruler too, but I love my measuring tape, y'all. So let's see, for his name, I'm not going to make it no bigger than maybe like 3.5, probably about like 2. So it'll take up about that space right there. And you have to be mindful of where you place it, because depending on like how they wear it, you won't be able to see it. So if I make it any bigger to cover up all this space, you won't be able to see it when he wears it. So definitely try to get like a cute little corner piece like right there. So what did I say? What, 3.5 by 2? Okay, so 3.5 by 2. 3.5 by 2. Okay. And now for the words. Now this bandana, I'm using an example. This, you don't want the words to be this big on a small bandana. Like I should have made it way smaller. Because the thing is, like when they're wearing it, you won't be able to see this word right here, because like sometimes like their fur. So I should have put it like more so down here. But yeah, so this is definitely how you don't do it. But for the words, the same thing. Measuring tape. I always start to the bottom of the bandana. So it'll be 4. And then I might do this by like say 2.5. 3 would be way too big. 4 is definitely too big because it'll take up all that space. And again, you won't be able to see it. So we're going to do 4. And then maybe by 2.5, I think 3 would be pushing it. So 4 by 2.5. And then I'm going to write it down by 2.5. And this is for the small. Okay. So now we can go back to our Cricut so I can show you guys how to cut it and stuff. Okay, so now that I have the sizes I need each vinyl to be, now we're going to go and create that size. So this one is already 4.29 by 2.76. That might be a smidge. That actually might work because it's not much bigger than what I measured it out, because I wanted 4 by 2.5. It's locked. Let me unlock it. Okay, so to change the measurements, you'll go up here where it says size, and we'll put 4 by the width, and then 2.5 for the height. And we'll do the same thing for his name. Gotta unlock it. And what I said, 3.5, which, yeah, that's still not much off. So 3.5 and 2, and that's it. And it looks kind of scrunched up, so I'm gonna smidge it out just a smidge, because it looked kind of like condensed, if that makes sense. So okay, so now that I have the sizes that they both need to be, now we're going to click make. And it's saying that it's asking me if it wants to save the project. You can save it, that's cool. We'll just put it as Sky, S-K-Y, Sky. Okay. Okay. All right, and this right here is like the cut and mat. So it's showing you how it's going to look when you put it on the cut and mat. And you definitely need to know this too, because when it comes to cutting out the vinyl that you need, you want to make sure that you cut out exactly what you need, because you don't want to use like a full sheet of vinyl if you're only going to cut like a little bit. That wastes vinyl. So okay, and that's good. That's good. Okay, so this part is done. Oh, wait a minute. Got to make sure you mirror it. Anytime you're doing an iron-on, you want to mirror it. So when you put it on the fabric, it'll say what it's supposed to say. So, okay. And we're going to do on mat, material size, which is the mat size right here. Mine is a 12 by 12, but you can get, I think it's like 24. Like you can get a big, like you can create huge pieces of vinyl if you need to. So, okay. So that's it on that. Now I need to pull out my Cricut. Okay, so now I've cut my iron-on vinyl. And a quick note about the vinyl. It has like 2 sides. This side right here is the shiny side, and this is like the non-shiny side. So you want to put the non-shiny side face up. So, but before we do that, we have to remove this plastic off of it. This is what keeps our cutting mat like clean, and it keeps the breeze on it, and it keeps it sticky. And you want it to be sticky so it can hold your vinyl down. So let's put it on there. Like we said, about 3 by 9. So we need to make sure we have coverage between 3 inches and 9 inches. And then you'll press it down. And if it's a good cutting mat, it'll stay down. If it's not, which means like the adhesive is like gone, it'll start to curl up. And you can still use it. You'll have to put like tape around it, but it's always easier to have a good cutting mat. So there we go. And now we're going to pull out. So now I pulled out my Cricut. We're going to open it. I've already turned it on, by the way. Press open and it'll open. Mind y'all, like my Cricut is old, so like this will open quicker, but I'm going to help her. Thank you so much, baby. Okay. So now we need to put our cutting mat into our Cricut. And so we'll line the cutting mat up right here. So I'm having to fold it because I got my tripod holding my my camera. So my bad, y'all, it's shaking, I'm sorry. So okay, so now we have it uploaded. Well, inserted into our Cricut. We're gonna press these like these double arrows, and it's gonna suck it up like. Okay, so now you want to always before you start with your projects, make sure that your Cricut is set to the correct settings, because you can cut a lot of stuff with your Cricut. You can cut paper, regular vinyl, iron on vinyl, light cardstock, bonded fabric, and poster board. So I'm cutting iron on, so I'm gonna turn my nozzle right here to iron on. Okay, and now I have to go back to my computer and I'm gonna show you how we get the Cricut started. Okay, so this is a screen from earlier, and pretty much we're gonna click continue. Now it's making sure that my Cricut is powered on within 15 feet, yada, yada, yada. It's spinning. Okay, now it's connected. Okay, I've already made sure that my base material is set on to iron on. That's that little setting nozzle I showed you. My tools, I've never changed my tools for my Cricut, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie, so I don't think about that part. But definitely, like I said, make sure that it's on mirror, which I already did that, which is right here. And you want to make sure that your iron-on material is shiny side down, which is why I put the, the non-shiny part up. So, okay. So now that we have that setting, we have that set, we need to go back to our Cricut. Okay, so I've set everything up on my computer, and now you know that you're ready to go once you see this little C light blinking, which is pretty much saying like press me so it can start the cutting process. So now I'm gonna press it, and it's gonna start cutting and doing its thing. Okay, so now it's finishing up and it's gonna spit it out. Okay, so as you know, it's still stuck in the machine. So you gotta press the arrows to release it, and that's it. Okay, so now the Cricut has finished cutting. Now it's time to weed the vinyl. So you'll take it off, take your vinyl off of your cutting mat. Okay, and to weed it is to pretty much take off all the excess that you don't need. So you'll grab your weeder and you'll pull it up. Hold on. And it's normally really, really easy to peel. So, okay. Now, remember to get all the excess that's around your letters. So, if you have any Y's, any K's, the P's, the A's, you want to get all those out. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I left one in the G, y'all. Get that one out the G. And uh-oh, left one in the E. And if you accidentally like leave one in, you can take it off by putting like the if you use an iron or your heat press on top, and you can peel it off. But let's just check to make sure we're good. And I always double check. Yep, everything is good. So now I'm gonna grab my scissors so I can cut it. And also grab my bandana. Okay, so I got my scissors. I'm just gonna cut it. Definitely be careful that I don't snip my other one. Now I'm gonna show you where I like to place my vinyl. Now, for the name, you can place it in the center or towards the bottom, but I wouldn't put it all the way to the top because then you'll be able to see it. And then the same for the words. Like, I would place it towards the center or more towards the bottom so you can see it when your fur baby is wearing it. So, now, y'all know I'm the lazy way, but when it comes to adding vinyl and stuff, you definitely have to iron the bandana, because if you don't iron it and like you try to put your vinyl on top, your vinyl is going to catch all these little creases and folds, and it's going to like bend up, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna grab my heat press, move it out the way, and just iron it. Well, press it for a sec, not really iron it. Okay. I was still trying to decide like which bandana I was gonna put what on. I think I'm gonna put his name in red. So, my bad, guys. And always make sure like your seams and stuff is pressed out too before you add any vinyl, because if not, if it's like all the way up there and you add in your vinyl, it's gonna take away. So when you do press out your seams, the vinyl will be up here, if that makes sense, okay? So I already made sure my seams are pressed out. I've got out most of these wrinkles. Looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna put his name right here and then press. Now, depending on what type of vinyl that you have, it'll tell you what temperature you need to put on if you're using a heat press. Now for iron, you don't have to worry about that. You just gotta press hard for the iron. But yeah, you don't have to have a heat press. You can use an iron. When I first started, I had an iron and it works just fine, y'all. Like, use whatever you got, like make it work. So that's it on that. And then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna press. I'm gonna do this one too. Then I'll pull it off at the same time. So knock out your wrinkles and stuff first. I called them creases earlier. Well, I guess it is kind of crease, ain't it? But yeah, knock it out first. Then always make sure, I should have did that before. See, oh, perfect example. Like you see how my seams right there, like they weren't pressed out. Yeah, I'm gonna press them out. Oh, that was a good example. Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna press them out and then it feels like I'm ironing, but I'm using a heat press though. I still want to call it an iron. So, okay. Where'd that red string come from? There we go. Much, much better. Then, I like to put it close to the bottom or in the middle, but I'm gonna put it down here. And I'm just making sure that everything's lined up. Like, you don't want it to be sideways. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to make sure, like, you see how my bandana is? If that makes sense, y'all. I hope I'm making sense. But, yeah, you just want to make sure it's good. It's pressed out. It's even. Because if it's not even, then when you put the words on, the word's not going to be even. So, okay. So put it right here. I think that looks pretty darn good. Make sure it's straight. If you want to grab a ruler, you can grab a ruler to make sure it's straight. To make sure it's not like, you know, off. But you can pretty much tell. But, no, that's just options. In case, like, you want to be, like, a perfectionist about it. And that's totally okay. I get it. Because, you know, that's, like, the worst thing. Is, like, when you put it on here, and you realize, like, it's, like, sideways a little bit. And you're like, golly, oh, my goodness. Now I gotta create a whole nother bandana. But you can take the vinyl off. But sometimes, like, you can still see, like, the glue and stuff. So, yeah, it's just best to just make sure. Double, triple check to make sure that it's good. So, yeah, I really, really feel confident that that's good. So, now I'm gonna do the same thing. Uh-oh. Yeah. Because sometimes I be tripping a little bit with making sure that it's even. Okay. Now, same thing. Press it on there. Press my little C so it can go. But yeah, y'all, like, that's really, really it. Now also I'm gonna sell some of my favorite, like, slogans and stuff, well, sayings for the bandanas, in case you guys just want to put those in Cricut without having to design it in Canva. So that's definitely just another option. And I'm gonna add it to my website, and I'm gonna add it to it. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Now, because this is lifting up, I'll press it again from the back. And that's it. That's how you add vinyl to your bandanas. So, thanks so much for watching, y'all. Y'all have a great day. And I'll see you next time.